Hey YouTube, so welcome to my home. Today we're going to talk a little bit about pH. So pH, when it comes to the subject of skincare, is actually pretty important, and what it stands for is potential of hydrogen. And what that is it measures whether a chemical is acidic or whether it's basic or alkaline. Now, as you guys know, because you follow me, I'm also an engineer in the semiconductor industry. And that's very important because there are substances that we run across, such as hydrofluoric acid, which is extremely toxic, that we need to know. It looks exactly like water, and it has no smell. So from that, when you're just looking at it, you have no idea whether you've got water or HF. Well, hydrofluoric acid will kill you with very little exposure. So in our industry, not knowing what a chemical or a fluid looks like can be very dangerous. So we have pH strips to test it. Now, that's semiconductor industry. In skincare, it's also extremely important. In skincare, it's important because your skin is the first line of defense to the external world. It's a very important organ because before anything can cause disease to you, your skin is there to defend you. And it's not, you would think that it's neither alkaline nor acidic, but actually it's slightly acidic. So there is a layer of lipids and sebum on the top that floats on top of your skin, and that layer has an acidity of 5.5. So it's slightly acidic. So what does that mean? When you are using a cleanser, let's say it's a basic cleanser, a soap that has sodium lauryl sulfate, what's going to happen is it's going to strip away that layer, that sebum, that layer, the protective layer of your skin, and cause the surface of your skin to actually become slightly alkaline. And it doesn't seem like that would be a big deal, except for when you change the natural pH of your skin, your barrier, and you change it to a slightly alkaline level, it becomes more friendly environment for bacteria that causes acne to take hold, and so that's why you don't want your skin to be alkaline. So you really want your skincare to match as closely as possible your the pH of 5.5. So one question that we get quite often is, what is the pH of Bradceuticals? Well, today we're going to test that out. Our claim or our spec is that the pH is 5. So that's the spec that we put, because you want your skincare to be slightly acidic, close to your skin, but you don't want it to be too acidic because it will become irritating. So L-ascorbic acid has to be manufactured in a pH of 3, but if you were to have pH 3 on your face all the time, it will become red, inflamed, and irritated. There's a place and a time for L-ascorbic acid. It's a very powerful antioxidant, but you can't have pH 3 all the time on your face. So you want your skincare and your all the time lotions that you frequently put on, or your cleansers, you want that close to your skin's natural pH. Okay, so that said, we have pH strips here with which we're going to test some things. And then the last thing we're going to test, of course, is Bradceuticals. So I'm going to show you how to use these strips. So the way these strips are is they have, I don't know if you can see, but here you can see that it says 0 here. So this is a pH of 0. So these test strips have 4 colors on it. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to match them. When there's a match in each of these 4 regions, then that is the pH that it aligns with. So right now, this is a strip that has no fluid on it, and it won't match to any of these. So water should be pH 7. So water should be this pH right here, which is slightly orange, very orange, green, and kind of a yellow. And then a strong acid is going to be kind of peachish, kind of orangish, kind of yellowish, and then of purple. So it's going to be the purple that we're going to be looking for. A strong base, the main thing that we're looking for here. So this is here, the neutral side. And then here you become more alkaline, and a strong alkaline is going to be a pH of 10. So it's gonna have, we're gonna be looking for the third square to turn black. So an acid, we're looking for the fourth square to turn purple, a strong acid. And then for pH 5, which is what is Bradceuticals, we're gonna look for a kind of a neutral, a middle olive color here. So that's pH 5. Water is green. So anyways, that is how you're going to interpret or read the pH levels. So it goes from acid to neutral, so purple, green, and then from neutral to strong base, so green to black. Okay, so let's get started. We're gonna start with a known acid, which is lemon juice. So here, we have a strong acid, a strong known acid. Everyone knows that lemon juice is an acid. So let's just test a strip, add a few drops to it. Okay, so we have an instant chemical reaction, and as we would expect, just a second, as we would expect, there's that purple right there. So it looks like my lemon juice is about a pH of 2. So there you go. That's just a little bit stronger than a vitamin C serum of L-ascorbic acid. So that's that. A strong base will be something like your household cleaners. Now, anything that touches your skin, you should try and know the pH of, because you'd be surprised. There are cleansers out there that people use. Before I became a skincare aficionado, I used to use the really cheap stuff, and I would wash my face with it, and my face would become very dry, and it's because that stuff is actually very highly alkaline, or alkaline enough where it stripped the acid layer of my skin. So now that I'm a skincare aficionado, my soaps tend to match closer to my pH. All right, so now let's take a look at a strong base. So this is a strong base here. Cleansers contain bleach, and bleach is always is highly alkaline. So again, we get an immediate chemical reaction. So this is purple. Right here, can you see? Okay, guys, see? So this is purple right here. So this is your strong acid. Now we're taking, so it goes towards neutral. And here, it's gonna go from neutral to a strong base. And as you can see, we have something that's very, very dark. So it's darker than the neutral. You keep going until you find that close match. So of all the 4 colors, and I would say that that is about right there. So it looks like about a pH of about 9 or so. Can you guys see that? So this is a strong base. Can you guys see that? So so our bathroom cleaner, as indicated by the pH strip, is a strong base. Now just for funsies, let's test out some other stuff. Okay, so I actually have not tested this soap, but it's from a company that I trust, and so I no longer test their soaps out, but it's because their pH is 5 or 5.5. So let's just, now that we all care about our skin and we understand the importance of skincare, let's just test it out. This is live. I'm testing it out for the first time, so hopefully they don't let me down. A little bit of that. Okay, immediate chemical reaction. Again, acid. So let's check out the 4 colors. So clearly it's not an acid. So we keep going over until we hit where it matches closest, and it matches closest there, which is pH 5. You guys see that? So that is why this skincare, I stopped testing it. It's a great company. I trust it, and my skin feels great. beverage. So let's test out a cola beverage, just for funsies. Okay, I had no idea what to expect, but actually, it's a very strong acid. So a pH of about 3, 4? Is that 4? Does that look at 4? So
3 to 4.
yeah, so it's actually an acid. So the cola beverage is a pH of around 3 to 4. Now, I have no idea what that does to the human body to have a pH between 3 and 4, but now you know. All right. Lastly, to answer the question that we get quite often, what is the pH of Bradceuticals? A very valid question. Our spec is 5. So let's make sure that our manufacturing plant, our manufacturing partner, is making it at pH 5. Okay, so as you can see, right there, there's no pink down there. There's no strong pink, so it's not an acid. So you keep going, 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 and right there, pH is exactly 5 as per spec. All right, you guys, thank you for joining me in my home with my amazing hubby. And one of the perks of being your own boss is a glass of wine at the end of work. Cheers.